And there we are. I thought I'd let you guys enjoy a little bit of the music here. I really do like soundtracks, and it is something that does help to enjoy the game quite a lot. So who we got in the chat? We got Alexander, and good to have you, my friend. Hello there, and Grip, my good friend Kev. How you doing there, Gilmer? I've not seen you for a while. I know you're still busy though, so I'm glad to see that you're making some bank, dude. So yes, we will be playing at Libertad, Muerte. I still cannot pronounce it correctly, but we do have time to learn how to play it, don't we? So we're going to go ahead, and we're going to start to do the game. And just so you guys can actually see, yeah, 81 minutes of experience, and that was obviously from the previous stream that I'd done earlier. And I like that. I like to learn by doing, really. I think that's really important. I think it's one of those things of, yes, there is a tutorial, but then this is a case of where I feel like you have to sometimes just jump into the deep end. Dive in there, really. I think what we're going to do this time, I did try the Mexico scenario. I am tempted by La Plata, but I think what we might do is potentially take a look at the Grey campaign. Get an idea of how the game looks, well, at the grander scale, really. So we have here the Grey campaign. This scenario covers the rebellion of Spanish colonies of Latin America. So this goes from 1810 to 1825 for a total of 31 turns. There we go. I like the Geode games. I like them. It's just a shame that some of them aren't as stable as they could be, really. So I'm going to let you guys choose then. So we do, well, actually no, I say let you guys choose. I might just choose myself. As we have here the Patriots, or the Rebels, but who's to say there? Let's see, we do have the Royalists, we do have the Patriots. I think we might go with, I've tried out the Patriots. Sorry, I've tried out the Royalists. I might go ahead and try out the actual Patriots this time around. Try something different, hey. So we'll go for that. And we'll see how we go on then. Okay, so welcome to the Great Campaign scenario. The situation in Spain has led the people and some army troops to raise their arms against the viceroyalties of New Spain, New Granada, Peru, and La Plata. There are several key regions that we must conquer to win this war, sir. We should control Caracas, and there's a lot of different ones there. So this is going to be rather intriguing. I shall be back in just 1 second. There's just somebody at the door. Be right back. 2 seconds, guys. Not be long. Apologies there, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. Just had to go ahead and grab a copy from downstairs. So here we are then. Indeed, different kind of strategies is going to be required this time around. So these regions will provide us with important resources we need to maintain the army and recruit new troops. For more information, so we do have the information button over here to the top right. But I'm sure we'll be fine. I'm pretty good at working things out. I'll just fail into them, really. So going into the card draw phase to begin with. Okay. So the cards that are outlined in purple, that are glowing purple, these cards must be used at the outset. They must be used this turn. Some cards you can actually hold on to and save, but these ones you have to use. What I do like is the amount of cards that we do have over here. So as you can see that we do have tension. Now tension's an interesting one. As far as I'm aware, tension is going to be quite the crucial factor here. The higher the amount of tension, the greater, the wilder things actually do in fact get there, really. And do we play as Bolivars, Revolutionaries, or the Spanish? We're currently playing as the, I suppose you could call them Republicans, the Rebels, I suppose would be the best description. But what we're doing here is the Grand Campaign, where we're fighting across the entirety of Latin America. And so we do have the Revolutionaries across Mexico, Central America, and South America, all the way down here to Argentina, and just, yeah, crazy. Absolutely insane. As I see then, we do have Napoleon in Andalusia. So go ahead and play this one. So as you can see here then, we do gain victory points. We also increase the tension. So tension is something that's rather intriguing. As the Royalists, it seems like you actually do want to try and keep the tension somewhat low to try and prevent the actual rebels from really bringing in their power plays. It's the opposite for us. But then again, this is it. As we increase the tension, it does unlock other options for the Royalists as well, in fact. So the Napoleonic invasion of Spain and the absence of the Spanish monarchy prepare the ground to start a civil war throughout the Spanish Empire. There are armed gangs in several regions. It is the beginning of the Wars of Liberation. There we go. Okay. So we have a junta here, the Supreme Caracas, I think it is. A Supreme Board is formed in the Caracas, that does not recognize the Regency Council of Cadiz. It is the germ of independence. So we gain here 2 victory points, 3 tension index. How you doing there, Parmentier? Good to have you, my friend. We've only just started here, so we're doing pretty well. Okay. Yeah. Body parts, guys. Indeed, you are right there, Sam. Okay. So that will give us additional victory points there, will give us the tension index, which is going to be intriguing. So we'll see how that works out. Okay, so it looks like we have our cards over here. So we have revolts in Venezuela. As you can see here, we need a index of 8 on the tensions there. The People Revolt fighting for survival, rebel unit appears in Venezuela. Death or Glory, 1 Patriot Cavalry. Let's take a look. Right, so this one we can save. Oh no, actually no, we can use this one here. So this is West Florida. Following Florida's Declaration of Independence, the United States annexed it as part of a treaty with Spain. We also do have the fort over here. Right, so we do conquer the fort of San Blas. San Blas. I'm going to mispronounce these names. And I thought Japanese was difficult. Okay. So we have a Supreme Junta of Buenos Aires. Okay. So there we go. And we'll play this card as well, as we have to. So now that we've played the cards that we have to play, we then move into the actual card draw phase. From that, we'll move into reinforcements. Okay. Right, so this is in Venezuela. So Caracas prepares an expedition force under the command of the Marquis del Toro to conquer Coro. Okay. What I'm going to do here is zoom in a little bit. Indeed, long live the Empire of Mexico. It's going to be great. We'll have to see what we can do about that. So if we zoom in over here then, so we do have... Right, so Caracas, let's see. It's a very large map. We do have a lot to fight over here. So we're going to play this card then, and activate our forces essentially. As you can see, we have Venezuela, so over in this direction over here. So yes, you can see, and what I do like is the fact they actually do see the national flags that we would somewhat recognize today. Indeed, we do see a lot of pretty recognizable flags over here. Of course, the flag of the Spanish Empire. So we have the Upper Islands over here in La Plata. So we're going to go ahead and go for that. Indeed, there will be keys given out during today's stream. He gonna let me choose. We had a system decided that, Agrippa. We had a system. What I'm going to do here then is just quickly tab out. I'm going to give you moderator power there, Agrippa. There you go, Kev. Use it wisely. Be magnanimous. Okay. Expedition to Paraguay. We have our expedition to Peru. And we have our freedom over here. This is the army I'm quite familiar with. So form a regular unit to join his side, but like the discipline there. So we do have guerrillas. 1 or 2 guerrilla units appear in Peru. Okay, I don't mind this, because these are free cards. We do have a lot, so we're playing the Grand Campaign here. And we have the rebellion in Peru. So the royalists control Lima and Cusco. The rebels in Peru, you receive a unit of Peruvian rebels in a region without royal support. Royalist troops in Peru. There we go. So those are all the reinforcements cards played. So you can see that we have now, if I go ahead and move across the map. Yes, okay, so we do have some forces around the area. So we have Balkarak. I'm going to butcher these names. I feel so bad about it, but I just know it's going to happen. Indeed, we have our forces over the way down here in La Plata. Indeed, Brazil is off limits. It would be nice to try and get the Portuguese around here and try and get the Brazilians around. But unfortunately, no, we will not receive any help from them today. Okay. So we do see the Toro over here then. He does have some... Right. Now, these do look like... They look like dragoons, perhaps. Or they could be potentially hussars. They might be hussars, perhaps. Or, oh, what is the name? I forget the name of them now. It's not lancers. Oh, I can't recall the name of them now. That's annoying. Oh, there's a... Caracias? It might be a Caracia. Caracia? And the Portuguese be like... Yeah, well that's it, isn't it, essentially? Okay, so we do have some regular troops over here, then. Oh no, these are militia, so we do have the militia. I do very much like the uniforms, in fact. So we do have the militia over here, then, in Caracas. It might be the Carabinas. Carabinas? Possibly. That looks potentially about right. I don't know. It looks like a sword, in fact. I'd imagine if they were dragoons, they wouldn't be in this sort of pose. Cause, well, they could be, but then again, I don't imagine a carbine would really be held like that. Though potentially so. I kind of expected more across the actual lap, but I could be wrong. I mean, what do I know? Carabinas. I feel so bad butchering these names. Okay, so this is an army I'm intimately familiar with, Hidalgo. Right, okay. So still in the reinforcement phase over here, what I've been simply doing is moving across the map to try and get an idea of the forces that we do have available. As you can see, rifle, sword, or spear lance indeed. So we do have our tension index over here at 4, we do have our resources currently at 6, and we have our victory points at 5 here at this moment in time. So, reinforcements, so we can see all the units that have arrived, so over here in Sonola. We have some militia. These guys look rather intriguing. Interesting, they look like potentially regular troops, or maybe even potentially good ideas. Actually, they could be good ideas. Possibly good ideas. Interesting, so there is a American unit over here. Yep, so as you can see, the largest army that we have at this moment in time is mainly Caracas, and we also do have a large army in Mexico itself. Right, so you can see that we have 17 income from our regions over here. Tension index penalization, we do not have any negatives there, which is nice. So 17 takes us up to 23, which is good news. Now, this is where it's really all about the cash. You can see that we're having to fund all these armies in the field here, so we have to be quite careful. Indeed, the Texas Revolution. Okay, so we're now into the purchase phase. So what we would be able to do, it's very similar to JOD games if you played those games essentially, where if you have different regions or different nations, you can recruit units for said regions or said nations. We do have some artillery over here. These look like mortars, in fact. Let's see. Militia. Indeed, I like how you can double click and actually takes you to where you want to go. The artillery, okay, so this could be recruited in Colombia. Artillery is actually really quite important. I've found that myself. It's actually really quite nice. It's very good to have it. These fellows appear to be potentially good ideas. I think this might be good ideas, perhaps. Their morale is 5, combat factors +1, which is good news. Okay. We do have our militia. Right, so we do have the capability to actually recruit cannon in Mexico, which is good. These are going to be the core regions. The vast majority of the population of New Spain was actually concentrated in these areas over here, in fact. Ooh, warships. Nice. We have brigantines. That's intriguing, man. Transports. They're very pretty. Okay. So, it's going to be an interesting one because it's a case of we need to really get a feel for how strong our enemy is and where. We're not likely to be able to defeat the Royalists in the field. We shouldn't really try to face them in the field per se. We should try to actually take their resources, try and drain their resources, try and make it so they have to chase us. What's that number for? Oh, there you go, Sam. So, we do have... Oh, there you go. Sam has actually been given a copy. Congratulations there, Sam. Very nice, my friend. Indeed, a group of Maxentius is giving away copies of the game. I'm not going to purchase anything right now. I am tempted by artillery, but I don't feel like it might be worthwhile at this moment in time. Things are too fluid. Once we have a feel of the situation, then I think we would have the opportunity to do so, really. So what we're going to do is click End Purchases without actually purchasing anything. Now we have a land movement phase. What I do like is that the units over here are clearly visible. You can actually see which way, well, see what is to be moved and what can be moved, as they'll do the little jig, which I quite like. Okay. As you can see, these fellows cannot move. Okay, indeed there's 3 more keys to be given away. Try and get them while they're hot there, ladies and gentlemen. Right, so we do have, these are our rebels over here, so their morale level's 4. They don't really have a combat factor. They can still fight, but they're not exactly going to do tremendously well. We do have the capital over here, Lima. Well, one of the settlements that we do wish to take. Cusco would be a very nice... I think was Cusco the actual capital at this time, or was it Lima? I know Lima was a very important settlement, but I think, was it Cusco? I can't recall actually which was the capital of Peru. Well, Peru, Chile, yes. Okay, Bolivia, that sort of region. Lima. There we go. How you doing there, Miguel? Good to have you, my friend. So, I could move upon Cusco. Cusco has no walls there. Lima actually does have walls, which is not exactly ideal. Ah, Lima, yes. See, that's the thing I was confusing it there. The reason why I was confusing it with Cusco, and we haven't been able to move into Cusco and take that, what I'm going to do is actually move in here as a garrison. They're actually saying that, is it worthwhile to move in as a garrison? Possibly, but it's probably not worthwhile. What we need to do is we need to be mobile, keep moving around, really. The game is actually really quite good. I do believe it's based on a board game, which is actually pretty good. I'm actually becoming increasingly involved in board games, which is nice. How you doing there, player? Yes, indeed, the game is available on Steam. If somebody could be so kind as to post a link in the chat, that'd be fantastic. Interesting. That's actually quite intriguing fact there, Nostalgia Gamer. Okay, so we do have our forces down here in Libertad. So we can see that there are a number of settlements over here. We do have Royalists over here, which is not exactly ideal from Paraguay. I think it's Paraguay. Yes, it is indeed Paraguay. I like that name. Built for Comfort is amazing. We have our forces over here in Buenos Aires. We do see the actual fortress of Montevideo, which is not exactly ideal. That's going to be a difficult one to take. We do have a force down here. We do have some actual artillery. We do have some cavalry. So we're not exactly without force, but it's a case of what do we wish to go for. We could potentially lay siege to the fortress over here, but that one's going to be an interesting one. We do see the settlement over here at Santa Teresa, so I think that might be the one to move upon. We do conquer said region. I still have the ability to move, and I think it would be potentially worthwhile. The issue, of course, is that there is a royalist army over here. If we take a look over here, then we do have tropical terrain. So you can see up to 4 units can fire on the first line. It's tropical terrain. It's the same over here as tropical terrain. Along the coast, it's indeed tropical. Okay. I'm going to head south, try and put some distance between us. Alright. Obviously, they're not going to be moving any further here. Yes, the game runs fine on OBS. That's what I'm using right now. Okay. Nothing can be done over here to Buenos Aires. So I'm going to have them actually place in the garrison for the time being, so they don't get overrun or anything of that nature, really. Right, there we go. They're in the garrison now. Okay. We do have a few forces here in Chile. I think what we should try to do then... well, we do have a large army down here, actually, which is quite good. Excellent, excellent. Now, the actual provinces here with the star indicate locations that we do wish to actually take. This is going to be nice. Yeah, they do. No, this is it. I believe one of the actual developers of the game was a former a geode developer. So you can definitely see the actual influences there. And the geode system's solid, and you can see that pedigree is here, which is nice. So we do see a large royalist army over here. Now, we do have the actual mountains over here, which is nice. You can see that it does reduce the amount of... yeah, you can see that we have a maximum of 3 units to the first line that can fire. There's no artillery line... So no artillery round in Alpine. Jesus, this is even... Oh, that is nasty there. Yes, there's only 2 rounds of combat. So this is Alpine. That is... that would be good for us to fight within... due to the actual terrain, due to the actual... But we'll see. I still think it's actually a better case that we should try to take these provinces, try to... ideally dodge the royal armies. Try to bleed their coffers, really. take away the resources, really try to hurt them in that situation, really. So there we go, welcome to the developers. So let's see then. I could potentially move here, we could move towards the coast, which would conquer the region. Now, there is a royalist army over here, but now due to the actual nature of the royalist armies, well, the royalists in the regions, they do wish to actually try and concentrate to be able to destroy our own armies. So they might be weighed down by potential things such as artillery, which we are as well. So mobility is really going to become quite important. So we've always got to try and be one step ahead if we can. So move into this region. Okay. Now, we could move to the north, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to move over here to Santiago. At least we're on the coast. At least I do have the benefit of Santiago. If I wish to take refuge, I could potentially do that. It would become a siege, so it's not exactly ideal, but it's something we could consider. I can actually form them into the army. So we take, which I think these fellows are grenadiers. I can't quite tell if they are grenadiers. They could be regulars, but they look different to regulars. Blood now. Oh dear. Right, we do have our forces over here. So, we are able to conquer the region, which is nice. We could potentially hold up here, due to the fact that we do have an actual army to the north, and it might be potentially worthwhile doing so. The only issue with this is there's no real support beyond the forces over here, and the forces over here in La Plata have their own problems, really. We can see that there are royalist armies over here in the mountains. Royalist army over here to the north. We've got to really try and figure out how we can actually work together here with other rebel armies, but we'll have to try and treat them as independent theatres until we can actually try and link them up in some situation, really. Whether that's through naval assets, transports of something of that nature, or potentially by kicking the royalists out of certain regions. But for now, we'll have to treat them as their own separate theatres. Potosi. Whereabouts is this? Oh, I see over here, indeed. Yes, resources. There we go. We can also see the amount of victory points over here. So you can see this one is worth 2 victory points for the royalists, sorry, for the patriots, and 1 for the royalists. You can see it generates 1 resource, 1 here. Some of these regions obviously do not generate resources, so we do have to be quite particular in the regions that we do take over. How you doing there, Norbert? Good to have you, my friend. I do hope everyone's having a great day. Welcome to the stream. Right, okay. Let's see. I do generate resources here. This one does not. This one does not generate royalists. Sorry, it does not generate resources, but it does have VP for ourselves and the royalists. As far as I can tell, there's nobody here. Fortification level. Oh, there we go. So we can see fortifications here, level 1. Over here is level 3. It's also a port, which is not exactly ideal. Level 3 fortifications there. But it is worth quite a lot of victory points. I think we'll try to move to the south. We do take control of Canal. I'll have them remain there for the time being, then, considering that they have no movement available. So we've moved our forces over here in the south. The extreme south. We've moved over here to Cusco, taking the capital. Well, the former Incan capital. Right. So we're looking for regions that do have either resources or victory points. This one's worth quite a lot, in fact. Yeah, 5 there is actually pretty important. I unfortunately cannot move there at this moment, as of this moment in time. So we'll see. Now, this is mountainous terrain, not alpine. Still good to fight in, but, well, we're 1 unit. We just have to hope that we can actually hold on. These fellows are unable to move at this moment in time. They can move within the province, but that's not exactly ideal for us right now. So let's see then. Right. We do have a fortress over here. Level 1 fortifications. We do have Guyana. Level 3 fortifications, which would be alright to actually hold on to, really. But I don't really gain value from that. The fortifications are really something more for the royalists. We really have to be mobile. If we lock ourselves down to a degree, it's not going to do us very well. We could potentially have militia units take up residence in these fortresses just to try and buy time, but ultimately they would be destroyed. So we'll see. We do see a royalist army over here at Cato, so we'll have to see about that. We do have Valencia. We can see that the terrain here is pretty suitable for combat, so that's something that we should try to avoid. The royalist army isn't the largest I've seen, but it's still not insignificant. So what we might have to do then is to move over here. Move in towards the jungles and try to avoid the royalist army, or try to fight them out here, really. So we'll move into this region. So that would start a siege over here. We would engage in battle if we headed to that region, and I can't move to this region right now. Right, okay. It would start a siege, but it would also lead to battle. It's not exactly an ideal situation for us to be in right here. It might be potentially worthwhile to head back to Caracas. It sounds kind of crazy after moving out of here. I don't think the Royalist army is that large, but I don't really want to get into combat. So I think what we'll do then is we'll head back to this region. I will have them actually merge with the forces over here. It's not ideal because we've lost some flexibility, but there's not much I can do there right now. How you doing there, fun? Good to have you, my friend. So we do have our forces over here in Cartagena. Not much movement is capable there. We'll have them just take up residence in the fortress for the time being. Unless, can I... No, don't have that movement. I know we didn't. I was just being hopeful. Go out to the city of Caracas. Yeah, fair enough, actually. Stay out there. Don't end up being besieged. No, that's a good point. We might as well fight the battle. If we're actually defeated, then at least we actually retreat, one would assume. So moving north over here, then, through Central America. It is very responsive, actually, I've got to agree. So, let's take a look. I don't have any cards I can actually play in combat. Right. I mean, this is it. There is a royalist army here. It's a decently sized royalist army. Mexico obviously being very, very important in the New World, as you would imagine. The administrative capital, really, of the northern region. We could attempt to fight the royalists out here, or at least try to drag the royalists away from the key regions, away from Mexico, essentially. YouTube is the modern Inquisition. Oh dear. Right, okay. So we do see these settlements to the north. It might be potentially worthwhile to... let's see. Yeah, we're just going to have to try and avoid the royalist army. It might be worthwhile to actually split the rebel army into parts, really. Let's see. So I could move over here. That would obviously take the region. That region is... It is worth victory points, but it doesn't generate resources. It's not exactly worthwhile. I think what I'm going to do then is have the army move over here to the north. I want to try to avoid combat. We will attempt to conquer Mexico City itself, but we're going to have to try to avoid it for the most part, really. Right, okay. Now, I do have some pretty good flexibility over here with these units. We could even move quite far to the north over here. So let's see. Can't move into this region due to the actual terrain. But we could march north towards, is it Durango? But we'll capture this region here. Now... Saltillo. Okay. Again, no resource generation. We need to aim at taking out the resource generation, really. Move in here. There we go. Okay. Now, this is an important province to take. The reason being, well, we have the resource generation. And that's good for us, it's bad for the royalists. Which is a good thing to take into consideration. Okay, well, Would be nice to use the US forces, but I don't think I'll be able to do that. So, there we go. We've moved the majority of units that we do have. There are some royalist forces over here in Cuba. Okay. Right, so there's not much else I can really do at this moment in time, really. Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, that makes it far easier to see then. As you can actually see, the regions that we control highlighted and coloured, and those that are not highlighted are not controlled by us. I think we'll go with that one. It makes it easier to see for everybody, which is quite nice. So we're going to move to the next phase, move towards the turn end. And yeah, there's not really anything else for us to do at this moment in time, so we're going to go into the next turn. Okay, so we have a summary over here. I'm going to have a drink of coffee. Okay. So let's see over here then. So I think this represents the amount of provinces under their control. So minus 22, we've gained 22 here today, which is very nice. I think this represents the victory points, yes indeed, so we've actually gained 5 victory points here today, which is good news. Okay, so moving into the card draw, this is for the Royalists. Okay, so Cadiz, the last bastion. The Napoleonic invasion of Spain and the absence of the Spanish monarchy prepare the ground to start civil war. Yes, we've read this one. So Mexico, some rebel leaders and units can move this turn, which is not exactly ideal with the lack of discipline. We do have the Viceroy over here. The Viceroy of Peru is a great leader to fight the rebellion. +1 resources in Lima. The Royalist fleet. Okay, assembles at Montevideo. How you doing there, Sam? Good to have you, my friend. Venegas arrives in Veracruz. Assumes a position of Viceroy of New Spain. As you can see there, that has increased the tension level. Okay. They have reinforcements here, so the Royalist Army of New Spain. Dragoons. Volunteers arrive to fight for your cause. A unit gains its maximum power. I like those cards. I would like those cards. So, we do see a flotilla has arrived at Montevideo. Right, okay, so you can see their income here. So 18 from the regions, 1 from the card, so they have 19 there. Indeed, here comes the Royalists. So, desertions. Some soldiers desert. Not exactly ideal. That's not fun. Okay. Yeah, okay, so as feared, they did move. Yes, they succeed over here. Not too surprised, considering there's nobody to fight them. Okay. So, the Royalists gain a victory point. We'll move into our second turn here. So, not too bad. We do have some regions taken away from us. You can see only 3, really. So, not too bad, really. We took 22 from them in the start, obviously represented rebellion, obviously the regions that we did take as well. And we had 1 defeat, but that was caused by a card that they played. We lost a siege, but then again I didn't have any troops in there to begin with, so nothing too bad. As we do have our card draw here. So continuation chest. The Viceroy was a great leader to fight the rebellion. Right, so +1 resources in Lima each turn, as long as the dice of 7 or lower is rolled. Well, there we go. I'll take that. 9. Very nice. There we go, so we mitigate that card. Now, we do have a couple more cards over here, so let's take a look. So, where else? So the priest organizes the Patriot troops in the south of Mexico. Play that card, of course, in Mexico. Lopez organizes rebel troops. Yes, please. And Venezuela over here. Mexico is going to be quite the battleground, essentially. The independence of Venezuela is declared in Caracas. It is the First Republic. Patriots get +2. Okay, that's nice. Right, the Venezuelan National Congress, 43 deputies meet in Caracas to replace the Supreme Board and draw up a constitution. The Venezuelan Congress, attended by the provinces of Barcelona, can't quite read these ones, and okay, declared the independence of Venezuela, creation of the First Republic, and appointment of President and Generalissimo. Okay, there we go, so we have the First Republic there, declared. Interesting, convert. That's incredible. I like that. Okay, so we play the cards that we can play in this phase, so we're going to go into the reinforcement phase, we can play the additional cards. Okay, so you can see that we can actually bring new forces here. So the Junta of Bogota sends Brigadier Baraya. Okay, it takes over the region's treasury, we gain resources, which is nice. Delago was killed in the first steps of the war, but I leave him to live and fight. That's pretty cool. A detachment of Chilean troops arrives at Buenos Aires. Yeah, that's good. We have La Plata over here. Artigas takes over the revolution. Okay. So you can see that we do have the arrival of many more troops now. Okay, so you can see here a income of 18, which is very nice. So you can see that Buenos Aires actually produces a great majority there. Santiago, Louisiana. Yeah, okay. So we need to try and find the high resource regions. That's good to have you back there, Gilmer. Yep, as you can see here, this is very expensive. I don't think I'm going to really have funds to buy new units, really. And we'll see what we have. So we do have some additional forces over here. Again, we're going to have to look for the regions that have the victory points, the regions that do have the actual resources. We need to try and take them away. The Royalists do have to pay for their armies, just as we have to as well. Okay, so we actually do have... oh, that's interesting, man. Right, so I do have some militia, I do have some cavalry. It seems that we are opposed by some Royalist cavalry, some Royalist dragoons, perhaps. We should actually be able to win that one. We do have a forces there, an actual commander, which is good. And the main Royalist force over here is somewhat scary, so we need to try to avoid that, really. We do... So there's an army in Mexico as well. What we need to do then is try to take all these territories over here then. We do have Monterrey. VP there. If we can try to deny the northern territories, that would be worthwhile. San Diego. These could be potentially captured. Having California and San Diego under our belt would be quite nice. Right, okay. Cannot do so. Okay. I'm going to have to bring possibly some additional forces out here. Okay. Shower. So this is worth 2 victory points, which is not too bad. I could actually have the cavalry move through the area here. Would start the siege. Are there forces in here? No, I don't believe so. Okay. We could move upon Santa Fe. There we go. How you doing there, OCB? Good to have you, my friend. We are playing the Glorious Republics to be, so we're playing as rebels across the Latin New World, really. So we have our rebels over here in Mexico. We have our rebels of Venezuela, Colombia, Peru, Argentina. This is an interesting flag, in fact. Chile. Quite a few that I don't think I've missed any, but I could have potentially missed some. Ah, right. So the arrow, when it turns orange, indicates that when you actually move to said region, it would start a siege. The game is quite good like that. So as you can see, this is blue, so that's indicating a movement. If I move into an area and it's green, that indicates that I will actually conquer said area. And if it's red, it means you cannot do it. It's quite good. It's quite a nice little system, actually. So you can see I could move into my own regions over here, which is nice. I like that you can move within the said region without using any points. It's nice just to be able to move things around, really. So we do have Monterrey over here. What I might potentially look towards doing then is securing... I think potentially trying to secure the northern areas. Possibly. I do want to try and draw the Royalist armies away from Mexico so I can try to actually reach for Mexico City itself. It's going to be easier said than done, however. I do have to avoid the Royalist army, so we are going to move to the north. Whoops. Oh no. Oh no. Huh. So these fellows are stuck. Okay, not exactly ideal. Okay, not ideal, but not at the end of the world. They will be able to get out of that. We'll take losses, but we can get out of that. Not exactly ideal. Looks like he's going to be repeating his earlier fate there, really. So I'm going to move into Monterey. Oops. There we go. Now, there were no units here at Monterey, so we do take that. Okay. Let's see. So I think these forces, no, still not able to be moved as yet. We do have the fortress over here, which is actually quite important. That level 3 fortifications is pretty nice. As it is pretty awesome. Yeah. I don't think we'll be able to escape that, but it's probably better to try and face it. If we can't avoid it. Okay. So I think what I might do is actually bring our forces over here. The Venezuelans and Colombians to try and fight together to try and oust the Royalist armies. We do have the ability to move through the area. Though saying that, let's see. That looks like a decent, so we do have Panama here, which is worth a few victory points there. Possibly. Move to the north, conquer said region, at least we have that, and then I can begin to try and move through the area. The jungles do make things hard. Terrain's not exactly on our side. We do have a decent army over here. The Royalist army isn't too keen on moving out, it seems. So I do have the ability to move over here. I could move into Valencia if I so wish to do so. I don't have the ability to move through 2 regions. No, unfortunately not. So some units cannot leave the region. So they cannot leave. Which is fine. We'll just have to accept that it is what it is. So that would start a siege over here, but I'm going to go for that as we do capture the settlement over here. Now, this is jungle, so tropical terrain, which is not too bad. I can work with that. I will be back for Caracas. I know it is worth quite a lot, but I do want to try and actually move together with the armies over here. I could put them in there to actually act as garrison, but we'll see there. How you doing there, Barry? What I intend to do is actually raise additional forces over here for Caracas, but I would like to try and get these armies together so we can actually try and take the Royalists. Yeah, the garrison has to remain here nonetheless. Okay. So we've moved all the forces over here to the north. If I could try and pick up these forces, I'd be quite happy. They're kind of going to have to deal with it. We do have a battle to be fought over here. We will be back. We will be back. Cusco is actually still ours, which is actually quite good. Would Lima? There appears to be something over here, actually. Interesting. Like a ghost. Oh, I see. Right, good to know. Ah, so there's a Royalist army over here. So our time in Cusco is going to have to come to an end there, really. Right, we'll hold in that region for the time being, then. Okay. So not too bad. We do have parts of the south down here. So, a flotilla assembled over here at Montevideo. We have received some reinforcements over here, which is nice. See you later there, Gilmer. Have a good one, my friend. It's been great having you, man. Been great having you again. Okay, so I do have these forces here. They could be, of course, moved out this way. Buenos Aires really is our chief region. This one produces a heck of a lot for us. Free resources, which is very nice. So they cannot leave. I think this is actually considered a garrison, isn't it? Yeah, looks to be. So I'll have that remain inside the fortress for the time being. Likely have enough to deal with this. Is this Portuguese owned? Oh, that's the Portuguese crown, isn't it? So I can't move into Castillos. Oh, outside Castillos? Which is fine. I didn't realise this was a Portuguese crown. That's good. That's good. And there is an army over here. They're staying put for the time being. So that would begin a siege. I don't have the movement for that, which is fine. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. We do have a pretty large army over here. We do see a royalist army. Okay. I think what we're going to do then is move to the north. I can bring the infantry over here in time. I can bring them there to Santa Fe. And then we'll have to cross when we have the opportunity to do so. At least then I can reinforce this army over here somewhat. I do have this large army over here. I could move into this region, but I'd imagine we'd probably be greeted by the royalists in battle there, really. Let's see. I could move into said region. Could move here as well. Some units will not leave, however. Oh, right, okay. So they're not grenadiers, they're actually the garrison. Which makes a lot more sense now. So, what I'm going to do here, then, is, let's see. So these are regulars, we do have militia. Okay, the militia will be detached. Have them march over here to secure that. Now, this is it. I could move to the north here, and I could expect to be engaged in battle. But I think what we'll do then is we'll hold out for the time being. I'd like to try and bring the second army over here, in fact. Okay. Oh, it seems chat has finally caught up on YouTube. Sorry, on OBS. I love when that happens. Okay. So we've moved the forces that we have for the time being. There's not much I can do particularly beyond this at this moment in time. So we're going to proceed to the next phase. We do have a fight over here, the actual battle. So we'll see how that takes a look. How that looks. So we have initiative roll. Okay. Right. So the 5 over here represents their morale. I believe this number indicates their combat factor, and I forget what the 3 represents. It might indicate their movement. Okay, so the Dragoons missed. Our Lancers missed, in fact. But we did get a hit in to begin with, which is nice. Second hit there. Militia is actually doing very well. Very well. Yep, there we go. Oh no, that was actually the Dragoons hitting us, but the Lancers do hit. It looks like we do take that unit out. We succeed in the battle, but we do take the province, which is good. Okay. Right, yes. That's good, Ben. So we do have an elimination. So that unit was destroyed, which is handy. Okay, so we do have some sieges over here, some Monterey. Obviously that's going to happen, because there's nobody in. At least nobody who can resist. Okay, so we do have a siege over here. There actually is a garrison here. So we'll roll the dice. Siege continues. 6. Got a 7 there. Yeah, you can see that we are taking hits. That was a bad roll there. Yeah, siege failed. Not exactly a great result. It looks like we lost some militia, but not ideal. Not ideal. But we'll get there in the end. Okay. Click aim turn. Hey, did that new Cato? Good to have you, my friend. Right then. So we did have... Is this considered a defeat? Alright, we did eliminate said unit here. We lost 2 of our own units, which is not exactly ideal. Okay, royalists in Mexico. Venezuela. Some regions disagree with the independence declaration, declare loyalty to the king. Valencia turns royalist, which is not exactly ideal. So there's a dice roll then as to which regions may actually defer back to the king. Venezuela, Spanish fleet blockades the Patriot ports of Venezuela. Okay. Mexico. Do you have a regiment over here? So additional units have arrived here for the Royals, so we do see that there's additional ships and men. That's a lot of income there. Look at them. Okay, so we have forced march for the Royalists, so that indicates that they can actually move. Right. Okay, yeah, they moved to Caracas. Not ideal, but I can move back to Caracas and seize Caracas back. We'll see. That's not good. Yeah. Okay. So that is Caracas gone then. So that was poor there. I was hoping that we would not have lost that, but we will move back to take Caracas. Not ideal though. Not ideal. But we're moving to turn 3. We can retake it, which is good. At least we have drawn the Royalists out. Yes, they took it, but hey, at least they're outside now. Okay, so moving to card draw. Okay. Let's see. Colombia. United Provinces Federation, New Granada is created. Facing Bogota. Alright, new Colombian units are available to be bought. We have Colombia, Constituent Congress of Cundinamarca. I'm gonna butcher these names. Okay, so we have the Constitution. Interesting. I'll see you later then, Albert. Really good one to have you, my friend. Right, convert. There we go. Okay, so Paraguay not conquered. The government of Buenos Aires recognizes the independence of the province of Paraguay. Paraguay is now controlled by the Patriots. Okay, that's pretty good, actually. That's actually pretty useful. Okay. As we'll move into the next phase. Okay. Right, the Patriots tried to institute a governing body for the Mexican nations. We gain free resources, which is nice. Okay. Indeed. Actually, Miguel, could you recommend me some books to read upon the actual period in time, actually? I would appreciate that. If you could actually pass on the recommendations to Agrippa Maxentius, so you can send them over to me, that would be appreciated. So I'd like to read upon the region. Okay, so we do have a good deal of resources here, so I'm going to be able to spend some now, which is good. As you can see, we actually do have... we have a need. We have a great need. Okay. Right, so Santa Fe, so that would be a garrison for Bogota, which is not a bad idea, I suppose you could say. I think it is worthwhile to gain these garrison units. Though saying that, I don't know, is it worthwhile? I might as well get a unit that can actually be active in the war. Okay. Right. Drag them over here. Artillery is going to be quite important. Militia's not too bad. You might think militia's... it doesn't sound good, but it's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty useful. Okay. I'm going to go quite heavy in this region, because I do want to try and take control of this region. I feel like we do have the ability to actually manage it here. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. This is it. I think in Mexico, we're alright. We actually didn't come under attack over here, which is nice. We're doing alright down in this region. The regions where we're... I mean, this is it. I don't think we're doing too badly. I think we can manage it. Alright. Artillery could be a real big factor. I'd like to produce some Mexican artillery, but I don't think I'm going to have the opportunity to do so, really. A navy could be something to potentially invest in, but I don't think I'm going to have that ability right now. Excellent. Cannon could be pretty useful. It would be quite handy for the sieges there. Ah dear. Yeah, indeed. I think on that note then we might have to try and increase the Mexican forces that we have available then. I can recruit some forces over here to the north, which is actually worthwhile. Monterrey. We have to be quite careful. That is going to come into threat. I imagine would be conquered as well pretty quickly. I kind of wish I'd built cannon to begin with, but then again I don't think I had the resources to do that at that time. I guess we do have some additional down here. I think what I'm going to do is end with that. So we do have new units that will be built. So let's see, we do have Force March. Do I have a need for that? I probably could in fact do that. I think I'll play it upon... Well, let's see. I could probably do it over here in Caracas, actually allow us to retake Caracas. That would be ideal. They can move to Coro, but I'd like to play it upon this army. So I'll choose this force. It's not the largest, but I think it will be worthwhile. Though saying that, it could be potentially worthwhile to get this army moving. I think so. Yes, I'll play upon this force, at least then I can get them moving. We're right here. Yeah, we're here with the Royalists on our arse. I think we need to get the arses in gear, really. As you know that, Alexander, good to have you, my friend. I shall see you later on. Right, I'm going to move towards Veracruz. Right, move there. Victory point location there, which is nice. Okay, they can move pretty decently far. Okay. Yeah, I think what we need to do is we need to try and gain some distance on the Royalists. So they could move in there, it would capture the region, but this is it. I can't allow myself to be locked out, so we are going to move. Let's see. Actually, we'll move through the region, at least I conquer it and move over here then. Right, they actually can't... Oh, they can move in here. So we go. Combine the army. Okay. Move upon here. Can't move any further, which is alright. Right, okay, I can move in here. It does make me wonder, is it worthwhile to conquer these regions? I think it's worthwhile doing so, because then at least I remove the threat. Oh, I can actually take both of them. Well, that's actually really handy. Okay, well that removes the threat from over here, which is nice. At least we can actually concentrate on these regions. I think it's worthwhile conquering the north. Yeah, I'd say so. But I'm going to move to this end of the river. Move here to Monterrey. At least I can actually combine with some forces over here, in case there is actually some forces that I'll raise at San Antonio or Galveston. So we do need to be aware of that. Okay. It's going to take them some time, but we can move to this region. Garrison over here. Move that so I don't get confused. So it doesn't look to be a large force over here, which is actually good news. So we can fight the battle, and I can likely win here. Oops. And then we do have reinforcements that aren't too far away, which is nice. I clicked on a British base out here, and I don't know how I managed that. I don't know what. Why did I click for British there? Interesting. Okay. So we do see our forces down here. Move to the north. Right, so we do have some large armies down here. Yeah, the south is actually pretty good. It probably would be worthwhile actually maintaining some forces down here just to prevent any collapse, really. Right, so we do have our commander over here. Let's see, can I cross? We could cross. Or can I not cross? I can't cross. There we go. No. No, so if I think I do need to have Yeah, okay. Right, what I'm going to do is take the militia. They're pretty useful. These forces are just fantastic for the ability to move. I'm going to get these elements moving over here, though. I'm going to leave... I can't leave the cannon right now. What I'm going to do then is actually select the cavalry. Oh, they can't cross anyway at this moment in time, so not too bad. Right, that makes sense, yep. No, never will read the rules. I'll figure it out as we go. Never. I'm declaring independence from the rules. The ruleless. Okay. The Royalist army doesn't look that large over here, in fact. At Salta. I can take this force over here. Move, and we do have the benefit of the mountainous terrain, which is good. I'd have to... Yes, okay, so we can move into the... Oh, this is the Atacama Desert, isn't it? Is it a desert? I heard it was a desert. Oh, there's a desert. Ah! There we go. Yeah, the rebels never read them. Right, so we can march upon La Paz. Could we make it to Lima? Lima's worth a lot. Let's give it a go. We do actually manage to secure Lima, which is actually worthwhile. Okay. Right. So we'll find the battle there. Okay. So our forces have moved for the time being. Okay, so we're going to find the battle over here. Right, we should be able to win that one would imagine. One would hope so, anyway. We have no cards that can be played. Oh, no mind, I do have a card that can be played. 2 units get an extra role in this battle. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Okay, so they miss, we miss. We missed again. We missed. Oh, for God's sakes. Stop missing! Oh, for God's sakes. Okay, so we had one whole round when nobody actually hit. However, that's not exactly ideal. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, spearfish, I'm feeling that one. Indeed. Oh, okay. Okay. I've usually had good results from militia. Yes, there's a victory bench that the Royalists that backfired on us somewhat. Oh, those were some tremendously bad rolls there. Those were some tremendously bad rolls. Bloody hell. Right, so we do have some new forces though that have arrived, which is good news. We do have the army there. I was hoping that we would have been able to take the battle, but apparently not. We do have some regulars. Oh no, we do have some militia, I should say. We do have some cannon over here, which will be quite handy. Yeah, okay. So we are going to have to try to recruit more regular forces there, really. Ah, oh, dear, that was bad. That was not fun. So moving into the Royalist turn 3. That did not go exactly ideal. Okay. A terrible earthquake causes thousands of death. Oh. Units... Ah. Interesting. Units on both sides, in Caracas suffer casualties. So did they just suffer casualties? Because that's actually not too bad then. We had a tactical earthquake there. A Portuguese army can move towards Banda Oriental. Ooh. Okay. Right. The ship of the line. Mino arrives in Cadiz from Veracruz and Havana. Okay. I've been trying to hit them in their regional income, but that's getting harder. Mostly because I lost Caracas, which doesn't help. Yeah, we can see them moving their naval units there. Okay. Ah, the Portuguese have become a problem. Okay. Learned a lesson there. The one time you discount the Portuguese, they will actually become a problem. Okay, we do hit here. Ah! There you go. Militia superiority there. Besides there. Oh, not too bad. Yeah, indeed. Rallying fails. Victory to the Royalists then, unfortunately. Okay. Right, so moving to turn 4 then. So we do face the Portuguese, which is not exactly ideal. String of defeats is not exactly ideal, one would say. We'll see. We'll inevitably gain cards that will help us out. As you can see, we do have quite a few cards over here that have come into our possession. So, Colombia. Now, do you know to Bogota? Colombian units are mobilized this turn. Civil War. Yeah, okay. Not exactly ideal. Up to 2 Patriot units get +1 combat factor. That's pretty useful. Chile. Local royalists take control of Valdivia. Okay. Okay, that's handy enough. Oh, well, okay, there we go. I suppose we will use it against them. Okay, reinforcements. Right, so we have Chile. Okay. The units added to the force pool. Minimal tension index, so yes, tension is increasing there. The people revolts. Fight for Survival rebel unit appears in Venezuela. Hey, doing that, JP? Good to have you, my friend. Right, so we do have the army over here in Santiago. And we do have some rebels over here. That's handy. Especially as I have lost a few forces there, really. Okay. Confiscations. Traitors' properties are confiscated. Patriots get +1 resources. I don't need it, but I'll take it. Right, okay. So we can afford to pay for our army, which is always a good thing to have. We do have some decent amount of resources, so I could actually go ahead and potentially build some additional forces soon enough. Right, these forces don't quite yet have the ability to move. Right, we do have the Reno. Oh, right, yes, obviously due to the card map. Don't mention cake, I'd like some cake. That'd be nice. We could go for a second time, lucky. Yeah, presence of enemy ships here prevents crossing. Okay. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Okay, that's a lot of royalist forces. Wow. Let's see. The main royalist armies are still down here in the south. We can engage or destroy certain ones, however. This one could be overrun. Right, so we'd engage in battle over here, and I think it is worthwhile to engage in battle. Oh, there's 2 units over here, in fact. We could actually engage in battle, and I'd imagine defeat this unit over here, this small army over here, which would be useful to do. This is what we need to do. We need to try and peck away at them. So we do see some royalist forces over here, and in San Antonio. Good job we moved those additional forces there, then. So, you can be moved over here, so that's good news. We'll have you move towards Santa Fe. Actually, I could have had them moved south, but that's fine. Santa Fe is at least an actual victory point location, which is not too bad. It's worthwhile actually holding on to. So, right. Right, I don't have the benefit of the garrison. Yeah, they can't move. So the army is not as large as you would like to think. So we have militia, and we do have these fellows over here. It looks like potentially 2 units over there. It might be worthwhile to move across into San Antonio. Let's see. I think there's only 2 units there. It's a little bit hard to tell. But and it could be even potentially 3 units there. It might be worthwhile engaging, but I don't think we really quite have the numbers as of yet. I could have the forces take up garrison in Monterrey. I think what we're going to do is we're going to move across the river to the Rio Grande. At least then I can actually engage the smaller army in San Antonio potentially next turn, or if they converge. We do have this force over here in Monterrey. It's actually a pretty decent garrison. We'll have to hope that they can actually hold out. We do have a decent army over here that could be potentially moved there. We do have this army over here. I could move it to the mountain range, but then there's a lot of Spanish, a lot of royalist forces in the area that would obviously give us something to worry about. We could move into this region over here. The issue is I'm moving away from Mexico. I'm moving away from where the war needs to be won, really. It's risky, but I'm going to have to do it. Actually saying that, no. I realised that is a bad place. Right, we'll leave them there as sacrificial. That might buy me some time, but potentially buy me some space I should be able to get through there. I had thought that I could move through here, but actually that's got units in and I can't move to that one. So that's my bad there, didn't quite look at that one correctly. Ah, well. We'll still be alright. Okay, so we'll find the battle over there. We do have a decent amount of force in the south. The south is probably going to best right now. But there is an actual force over here. There's actually shipping over here as well, which is not exactly ideal. So, and there's a large Portuguese army. So what was I saying about that? Can't move outside Paraguay. Okay, so we do have 2 armies over here. I feel I could defeat this army. Yeah, that army can be defeated, looks like, only militia. I am going to bring forces over here. Oh, it looks like I can't move into this region. Okay, interesting. It looks like this has been retaken over here at Corral. Okay, retake that. Okay. Right, so I can't move across here. I could move there, but this is quite nasty. And we're going to have to move across the river into Santa Fe to actually assemble a decent army. It's not ideal, but at least we are 1 province away from Buenos Aires, and we'll have to move here. The Portuguese has kind of thrown me off balance. I did have forces deployed over here, assuming that the Portuguese would stay in, well, actually out of our business. But I apparently turned, so the Portuguese cannot go to Santa Fe. Okay, that's good to know. So would they just be in this region here? Okay. Right. Leave behind the garrison in Santiago. Okay. So I can't actually transition across there. So I'm not allowed in this region. I could move over here to the north, but I don't have the ability to cross the actual desert here. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to have to go south. Go south and look towards these provinces down here. I'm actually quite happy that we managed to take Lima. We've lost Cusco over here, but actually taking Lima is nice. And that is a lot of royal... Jesus. That's a lot of royalist forces. Okay, at least we can actually move across into the... Can I not? Yes. Okay. I'm pretty good with that. We really do not have a way out over here. Those rebels are pretty much up a creek. Okay, where I thought things were actually going well enough, they're actually not going tremendously well. Oh dear. This is it. I imagine once you have played this game and actually were aware of the reinforcements that you would receive, and more so about the Portuguese betrayal, then you probably would have an easier time. Indeed, we are the rebels. Okay, would be shocked if we didn't win over here. Oh, it's just one unit. Interesting. Right, there we go. So we're going to engage and defeat Corona. There's no lack of irony in that one. Okay, so we do defeat it, which is handy there. I guess we have an actual victory for a change, which is nice. Over here to Goro. Goro. Maybe we might win today. Yeah. Okay, up to 2 Patriots gain, plus 1 combat factor. Okay, we'll fight. Indeed. Here comes the missus. There must be something in the water over here that actually impacts on accuracy. Oh, we do actually hit here, morale hit. Okay, at least we actually gain a hit. Oh my god. Hey, do you know about it? The shadowy forces. Oh, for God's sakes. Alright, there we go. Right, we actually do achieve a victory, thank God for that. That was incredible. I guess we do have a battle over here. Right, there's no artillery allowed here. Right. Start with a miss, that's always a good way to win. There we go. Yeah, that's true, that's true. Ah, there we go. You must be obeyed. Okay, so we actually do have some victories this time around. Right, there we go. That's nice. At least we have that going for us. This arm is going to be intrigued. See, we do have the Alpine, which actually works to our favour, but we'll see about that. Okay, moving into our turn 4. Okay. So the Constitution of Cadiz. I shall allow you guys to pause it if you wish to read that. Okay. Okay. That's not good. Alright. So again, some additional forces. I can imagine having a navy would be quite handy. Their income is it's not insane. It can be beaten. Right, Patriots control any region in Chile. Interesting. Okay, it's moving into the land movement. Moving to the north, moving there. Okay, so Lima's gone. Looks like we are going to be engaged in battle. Ideally, that has actually bought us some space, but does not look like it. Okay. That's not too bad. At least they're using cards in this sort of battle. Yeah. If they can retreat, I'd be quite happy with that. Oh, so we do see a battle over here. Oh, quite the battle, in fact. Yes, quite the battle. Yeah. Right, we were not previously aware of them, but it does explain what actually did capture the region there. Explains why we do have that larger army there to actually go ahead and deal with that. Come on now. Our victory points are drying up right now. Okay. See what the cards draw. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's see. The Portuguese retreat. Thanks to the intervention of the British ambassador, the Portuguese agreed to retire. Oh, that's alright, that's nice. I'll take that. At least it gets the Portuguese out right here. I mean, we didn't have to fight them in battle, so that's not too bad there for us, really. Right, move it into the next. Right, so we do have Texan rebels over here. Right, there we go. That's actually a decently large army there. Okay. Indeed, 2 VP. Still worthwhile. The Royals receive -1 reduction of income from now on. Okay. Confiscation gains us those resources. We gain 15. Okay, so we have our maintenance. So we're looking at 14. Okay. We clearly need regulars, really. So artillery actually would be nice. I think it might be worthwhile to actually go ahead and try and build some over here. It's expensive, but I think it might be worthwhile to actually have. Right, let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to manage them as best as I can. I could potentially build some artillery here, but we do see a large army here, so I'm not particularly too interested in staying here. That unit did retreat. I was trying to break through here, but I don't think I'd have that opportunity. There's a lot of royalist forces. A lot of them. Yeah, most of our troops are recruited there as well, which is not exactly ideal for us. I could recruit some... Well, I could actually form some sort of flotillas, but I don't think it's particularly worthwhile for me. Right, so these are militia over here in Bogota. Pick up some additional troops if I can. Santiago. We do have regiments. That is well worthwhile, to be honest. Dragoons. I'm going to call it about there. I have spent quite a lot more than I normally would do. We still have 13 resources, which is not too bad though. Okay, so we do manage to retake this. We do see that there is the force over here at Caracas. It doesn't look to be that powerful, but yeah, I need to get these forces moving. Right, let's see. Some soldiers desert from their units. Yeah, there we go. Tigers hit. I can't move, unfortunately. Also, we're going to have a southern expedition. Not exactly ideal for us. Yeah, the AI is not playing daft. They are filling this area. I think we are going to have to choose a point at which we're trying to engage and defeat a royal army. Move towards Santillo. Oh, Santillo. Right, move to the north. I'm going to try to actually engage these northern forces. We do have a force over here which is actually great. So that's taken by the Texans. We do see the one here. They didn't engage at Monterrey, which is intriguing. We might have a chance over here. It's malicious, so we might be able to manage that. Yeah, that's the problem. If I had known about the Colombian Civil War, I would not have actually built them there. They're waiting for you. Right, so I could move into Valencia, but I think it's actually worthwhile moving to the south instead. Yeah, militia over here. Okay. Right, at least the Portuguese are back over here, so we can move back here. It's going to take some time, but I'd like to move in force. Okay. Decent force over there. I'm gonna have to try and bring some SunYan forces there to bear. Didn't need to move them in there. Okay. They're not that strong either. That's the problem. It might be a case of we wait for reinforcements, but then that doesn't particularly help us. They know what they're doing here. And this nullifies the artillery that I do have, which is not exactly ideal. So in fairness, I might as well detach the artillery, because it's doing me check right now. They could actually move into here, which is good. Yeah, the struggle is real. At least I can actually make use of the artillery somewhere else. Okay. Yeah, they don't really have much in the way of choice there. Starting to run lower on options here at the moment. Things will change and they will turn around. It's definitely not an easy thing for us here. Okay. Yeah, okay. Sounds like an ideal. That's not ideal. Go on, use your pitchforks. See you later, my friend. Yeah, we do have a few minutes left of the stream here. Ideally, we can achieve a little bit of a victory, but, well, doesn't look like it's going to happen, unfortunately. Oh, dear. Okay. Yeah, no good for us there, really. Didn't go exactly as planned. That's one way to put it there, really. Ideally, this one. I mean, it just needs a single shot, we would be able to take them. Oh, we're gonna miss. That was a good one, too. I know, right. Right, we do win over here at least. So that is nice. Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. Right, so we do have the siege over here in San Antonio, but there's nobody in. So we do take it. Okay, so at least we do actually get to end the stream on a bit of a high note, which is nice. It's not exactly super incredible, but at least it is something. There we go. Whoops. Yeah, that's actually pretty good there. Need to find the strongest units to really have, to be honest. Or the units that are the most hurt. Most beaten up. Try and keep them in the fight as long as we can, really. The militia's tempting, but the militia isn't that great. The cavalry's not too bad. Regulars there. Okay, and these guys as well. Yeah. See, I didn't need no stinking rulebook. I'm sure it would have helped. I would recommend reading the rules. I'm just kind of stubborn like that. But thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. It's been a great stream. Thank you very much to the fine developers, to Miguel, He's done a superb job. The history is quite amazing, and it definitely shows me that I do not understand very much about this period. Not very much, I'm just going to say I don't know that much about it. But there we go. Do go ahead and check out Good Up McSentis' own channel on YouTube. That would be much appreciated. And I'm going to mispronunciate it again. Libertad or Muerte. This game, I can't pronounce. Libertad or Muerte is out on Steam, so go ahead and check it out. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to Avalon Digital. I shall see you guys in the future. Goodbye for now. Have a great time. And I assume in the See you later, guys. Sayonara. Johnny, goodbye.